Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue tints on my hundreds. Life been going how I want it. Yeah. Life been lit just how I want it. Yeah, yeah. Now she talking like she want me. Yeah, hey, wave.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Cold Hard Football Facts Show for August 12th, 2022. Hope you're doing well and hope you're ready to talk some NFL news. How we doing over on TikTok? How we doing on YouTube, guys? First things first, if you have a comment, drop in the chat. We're going to get to it. We have a set topic list we're going to go through today, as well as talk about the NFL games tonight, talk about some preseason betting. I don't condone it. I don't think you should do it too much. We have a few sprinkles today, but you know what it is, what it is. Football's almost back. We got to get excited. That's been a revolutionary change for me. In the past few days, I was saying, hey, don't bet preseason, but there are some juicy lines that we can get, and we can talk about it on the show, guys. How we doing in the chat? Let's read some comments. I don't get work done because of you. Well, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I am work. I'm teaching you guys betting, teaching you how to make some money, teaching you stuff, talking about NFL stuff. We're feeling good, ready to win some money. Do you like the over a 3.5 Deshaun Watson fantasy score? I do if he plays tonight. That's the big question. He's projected to start. We're already talking about in the chat, though, he might not be the starter tonight because the NFL could come out with their ruling. They want 17 games and an immediate suspension start. That immediate suspension would begin in the preseason. He'd be away from the team, could not play tonight. So we'll see what happens there. If he does step on the field, yes, but we also got to worry about him not playing too. Like how's he going to play? He hasn't played in over a year, right? So that's also going to affect his ability on the field tonight. I don't think they put him out there too long, especially if they know they have a feel what's going to happen legally. We know it's going to be 17 games. It's not going to be 8, which he wants. But we're going to break that all down on the show. That's what I'm here for. What about the Eagles tonight? I do like the Eagles. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be on the field tonight for a good chunk of it. We'll see some of their starters as well. Eagles playing the Jets tonight. Zach Wilson's also going to play. Got to keep this in mind, too. The Jets are going to lean more heavily on their starters because they are younger. They need to get their work in. NFL expected to drop a hammer today. They said he would start before the ruling. Imagine Watson tears his ACL. That's another thing, too, guys. You don't know about injuries and all that, but I don't know why he's going to play, whether the ruling comes down today or not. This isn't going to help him. At most, he's suspended a year. At the minimum, I'd say, is 8 games, right? So what makes you think he's going to be healthy? What makes you think tonight's going to make him better? Let's see, two and a half months from now when he can actually play. So keep that in mind. Jordan Love under 120 passing yards. I think they're going to throw the ball a little bit around the field with Jordan Love tonight. 49ers defense, we'll see what they get there. I do like the 49ers tonight. I think Trey Lance is going to be on the field a lot. Jordan Love is obviously more of a starting quarterback right now because he's had some more experience, especially in the preseason. Trey Lance is going to be the guy there in San Francisco, but we'll see how Lance does tonight. And really, it's his first action. Hey, found your new pages show still in Dallas. Not in Dallas anymore, BP311, all on here. We're in the new Discord as well, Brian, so make sure you go. And I'll be on your college football show as well. Trey Lance is a year away from being a year away. I don't know about that. You know what's surprising, too, about Trey Lance and the whole San Francisco 49er team right now? In Vegas, they're projected to be the 4th-ranked team to come out of the NFC this year. Like, they are expected to be in the hunt to win a Super Bowl, which is amazing to me, considering Trey Lance was a 1AA kid that didn't play that much. I mean, he had some good years when he did start, but he came out early, right? He could run the football. He's dynamic. He wants to throw, but Trey Lance's athleticism will definitely be used in Kyle Shanahan's offense. We can break all that down in a minute, guys. You look dapper. Thank you, Papa T. I'm excited to watch Breece Hall tonight. I'm very excited to watch Breece Hall. I'm also excited to watch Sauce Gardner. I think that's going to be a fun guy to watch. There's going to be a lot of good young rookies tonight with a mix of really seasoned veterans for a few series. So it's going to be a fun night for football. What do you think about the Colts this year? I think the Colts are going to be great. I think they're going to be able to run the football. And that's exciting to watch, right? Any team that can establish the run game, work their play action, and Matt Ryan, realistically, I don't want this to be too hot of a take, but I think Matt Ryan could be an MVP caliber player this year because of the play action game that Jonathan Taylor is going to be able to create with him. Trey Lance equals Justin Fields. Trey Lance equals Justin Fields. Bit of a stretch. I think Justin Fields land in a rough situation. I think Justin Fields, I'd probably give him the edge. He played at the Power 5 school. We don't know what we're getting out of Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is in a much better system, and we know systems make a huge difference, right? If Tom Brady doesn't go to the Patriots, is he Tom Brady, right? And it's hard to make that judgment because he is the greatest football player of all time, but systems make a difference. I think Trey Lance being in that San Francisco system, at least under Kyle Shanahan, very good offensive coordinator with really a good amount of talent around him, is going to help him out this year. They're going to be able to work play action with him, get him out of the pocket, make things easier on him. If they do that, they could win some games. Early Super Bowl prediction. I think you got to lean Buffalo, right? You got to say Buffalo is going to be in the Super Bowl, but at the same time, too, high expectations don't always equal high results. I say it every day on here. Browns money line is free. Trey Corbin. I don't know if it's free, guys. I don't know. I mean, we got to think about this, too. Deshaun Watson, if he does start tonight, he's probably going to get 2 series at most. The majority of the time is going to be Jacoby Brissett on the field because there's no way the Browns risk an injury to him knowing he's not going to be available for at least 8 weeks or half the season. Most likely it's going to be 17 games. He's not going to play. Bills are the favorite. You're right about that. But at the same time, too, if you're Deshaun Watson, you know you have 24 civil lawsuits against you. I know they've all been settled, right? But the league wants to come out and get him. Roger Goodell wants to come out and get him. He knows he's most likely not going to play. He's going to lose $5 million in suspension fees, right, or whatever. It's not going to work for him. You know he might not be focused tonight. So I wouldn't say it's a lock by any means. Jags rested a ton of guys in the Hall of Fame game. But yes, think about it this way, though, too. Are the Jags really going to put Trevor Lawrence out there in a situation to get him hurt? He's going to play a few series, maybe a quarter, right? And that Jags second team against the Raiders got dominated. So just keep that in mind. Jacoby Brissett versus Jake Luton. I take Jacoby Brissett. Who wins the quarterback job in Pittsburgh? Easy. It will not be Kenny Pickett right away. It will not be Mason Rudolph. It will be our guy, Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky is going to play for about 5-6 weeks. The crowd's going to chant, hey, we want the starter. We want the starter. We want Pickett. We want Pickett. And they're going to get Pickett. That's what it's going to come down to. Falcons money line. I think they're going to be one of the worst teams in football this year. I would not take them tonight. I would go Lions -2.5. But again, I don't think you should bet preseason too much. I think if anything, you're going to sprinkle it. I'm only betting one game tonight. I bet one yesterday. We bet on the win streak yesterday. Luckily, it came through. Don't usually bet preseason, but did throw a couple at +100 for the Lions tonight, coming in from BP 311. I'll beat the Lions preseason game versus Falcons at Ford Field. Also looking forward to this week in sports betting, college football preview, 6 p.m. next week on my channel. Yep. I see you're high on the Colts, so you disagree with my Titans +170 division. It's not that I'm high on the Colts. I think the Titans and Colts are going to battle out in that division. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect. I mean, the Titans were the number 1 seed in the AFC last year. Obviously, it didn't go their way in the playoffs, early exit there. But at the same time, too, Titans are going to be able to play with this team, especially with Derrick Henry running the football. My biggest concern for the Titans is Ryan Tannehill if they have to get in a situation where they got to throw the ball down the field. But again, Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry, I think it's a pretty even battle there. Matt Ryan versus Tannehill, I think it's an even battle. It comes down to the defenses as well. What team's going to be better on defense this year? Titans got to improve there, but they have a phenomenal coach in Mike Vrabel on defense. So I think they'll be okay. Desmond Ridder, nice people sleeping. Pickett will be a career backup. I don't think the quarterback class coming out of college next year is so much better than this year. I think Pickett could be that career backup kind of guy. I don't think he's going to do much. Any quarterback that wears gloves on 2 hands, it's just not going to work. Now, the storyline, the Disney storyline's there. Played in Pittsburgh. He's playing at his college stadium for the Steelers, right? So it's great, but I just don't see it. I agree with you guys on that. How do you find good value in college football when the spread's like 21? Well, you probably don't play them. I mean, there's a million games. There's over 100 Division I FBS schools out there. You don't play the 21-point spreads. If you don't want to play the 21, I like UConn +28 opening week of the season, week 0, but we can talk about that on our college football show. Also, BP 311 over on YouTube, guys. I'll be on his show next Friday talking college football, so make sure you check that out. I just get nervous. There's a reason Pickett is listed as the 3rd string. Here's the thing. It's the Mike Tomlin, it's the Steeler way. There's not a reason he's the 3rd string. They obviously drafted him first for him to be the guy moving forward, right? But there's a reason he's the 3rd string. Here it is. It's the Steeler way. You need to earn your stripes. You need to earn the logo on your helmet. You need to be the quarterback, right? Just because you're the first pick doesn't automatically you're going to start under Mike Tomlin's offense. This is also a team that's had Ben Roethlisberger for, well over a decade, right? Now they have to rebuild, right? So you're not just going to give it to Kenny Pickett. You got to make him earn it a little bit, in my opinion. Play totals in college football or first halves. I agree with that. I mean, college football, so much stuff can change. They're 18-year-olds, just don't know what's going to happen. At least these guys are professionals, right? Quarterback, Ian Woody, I love it, played the first quarter. So let's get into our news, guys. First things first, though, make sure you subscribe to Cold Hard Football Facts YouTube channel if you're watching over there. Follow me on TikTok, guys. We do this every weekday at noon. We also do our betting show at 10 a.m. We're definitely a little slower on this one, a little more professional. But you know what? Tanner Kern, man, the people, he can do it all here. So make sure you guys subscribe, follow, and also start your free trial at coldhardfootballfacts.com, the number one place, number one tool to help you win bets this season, guys. I love it. I've used it since before I worked for the company, so it's awesome to be here right now. We were able to predict the Bengals going to the Super Bowl last year. That was kind of our claim to fame. We also were the original people that came up with the Tom Brady is better than Peyton Manning narrative based on our stats, guys. So we have a lot of great stuff. Make sure you go check that out. Start your free trial today. See what the craze is all about, guys. coldhardfootballfacts.com, link in bio, and then link in the description over on YouTube. So let's get into talking about the news from yesterday. Obviously, we had 2 preseason games. If you bet on the Ravens, congratulations. That was big. They've won 21 straight preseason games. This is probably the most significant streak that doesn't mean a damn thing in sports. 21 straight preseason games dating back to 2016. You got to go all the way back to 59 to 62 to find a team that won 19 straight in Vince Lombardi, literally the greatest coach of all time. His Packers won 19 straight preseason games. The way I look at it here, I think Harbaugh is a guy that wants to come out and win every game he's involved in. They also have a really good backup system there. Tyler Huntley is phenomenal. I mean, he played great last night. Numbers were off the charts. Ran the offense really well. I thought the timing looked good. The O-line protected well, right? So for Huntley last night, there was no doubt this team was going to win this game. I was on the Ravens last night. It wasn't a surprise to me. You're going against a rookie quarterback in Malik Willis, who was 6 of 11 for 107 yards. He ran for 38 on 5 carries. I didn't think Willis looked bad. I didn't think he looked great. I think it's a rookie, and he played at Liberty, right? He shouldn't be great. He's not coming from the SEC. The baby AFC, baby NFC is the SEC. Keep that in mind. Now, Mike Vrabel was pretty hard on Willis after the game. He said he needs to throw the ball when the guys are open, be more decisive, wanted to get him out there and wanted to see how he responded. He did okay. And that's exactly how I would call Malik Willis's performance last night. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. I think Tannehill is obviously still the guy there. He can make every throw in the playbook. He can run play action. But at the same time, too, Willis is the guy that they need to start developing for the coming season. What's up, buddy? Yanks, how we doing? Yanks, I like the Red Sox tonight. But yeah, overall, Tyler Huntley won them the game, 16 of 18, 110 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Baltimore Ravens. It was a tight game. It was a tight game early, and then they blew them out late. 23-10 win over the Tennessee Titans. 21 straight. What do you guys think of that? Are you going to hammer them in their next preseason game? I don't have who it's against, but are you going to hammer them, see if they can get 22 straight? I think the streak's going to die at some point. A lot of people said when I posted this video yesterday talking about the streak on TikTok, at least, people said I was a fade god and it wasn't going to happen, guys. The whole time, I just don't know how you didn't conceptualize this, and this is the one game I bet yesterday. Obviously, the Titans are fantastic, but this isn't regular season football, right? And even in the regular season, you probably lean with the Ravens because they are built to win the Super Bowl. But even in the preseason, you got to think about it. Malik Willis, Liberty quarterback, he was going to get the majority of the reps last night, and he didn't deliver, obviously. Tyler Huntley is a quarterback with starting experience as a backup. He looks phenomenal, right? He can make every throw. I think he can throw better than Lamar half the time, and he did that last night. I don't hold that against you, buddy. I like brunettes. Some guys like blondes. There you go. Love it. Love it. Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer. Hot take there. Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer. I don't know if Matt Ryan's a Hall of Famer. It would have helped if the 28-3. When I think of Matt Ryan, I think of 28-3, and I am a Patriots fan, but I think a lot of people think of that as well. Kern, do you want a sportsbook? Austin, I missed you on the 10 a.m. show. You got to give me that comment on the 10 a.m. show, Austin, guys. Get the likes up, get the shares up, get the subscribes up. We're talking football, guys. A few more topics, then we'll get into talking about the games tonight, previewing the preseason action for this evening. Then we'll go Giants. We had to talk about the Giants last night. People were also coming at me yesterday. I was wearing a Patriots jersey, and hey, the Giants beat the Patriots. The Giants beat the guys. It's a preseason game. It literally doesn't matter. This is the most insignificant time of the NFL season. But despite that, I think you can take a few things from every game, obviously. We'll read one comment here from Yanks. Yankees are not a team built for the playoffs, and regular season just doesn't matter. I mean, I think they're built for the playoffs. I don't know if they'll win anything, but I think they're built for the playoffs. Yanks, you got to come on the 10 a.m. show, buddy. 10 a.m. show. We talked Yankees, Red Sox all day today. Got to come on that 10 a.m. show. I'd love to debate the Yankees with you. So we look at the Giants and the Patriots game. Big late second, or not last second, but under 2-minute field goal there for the Giants, 23-21 last night. Patriots able to cover the 2.5 points, so that's great. Nobody really cares about this stuff unless you're betting on it. But the things we can take from this game, one, is the Giants' offense. The offensive line looked okay. There were definitely some breakdowns throughout the game, and that's going to be scary when you get into the regular season. But Daniel Jones, as a whole, was okay. 6 of 10 for 69 yards. Saquon Barkley had 4 carries for 13 yards and 1 catch for 8 yards. We already talked about Saquon Barkley. He's a guy that doesn't exactly know how to play running back in the NFL. He's just got to go down sometimes because he's not going to be able to break it everything for a touchdown. The biggest thing I look at with this Giants team this year is Daniel Jones. What are you going to get out of him? And it starts with the offensive line. The breakdowns that we saw last night is what happens over and over and over again in the regular season, and that will hurt you. Obviously, against the second-team Pats defense, things are going to be different than week 1, week 2, week 3 against reputable starters in the NFL. So the Giants, if you're a Giants fan at least, I think last night was something to be happy about in the sense that Brian Daboll got his first win as a Giants head coach, right? It's a preseason game, but still feels better to win than to lose. And on top of that, Daniel Jones did operate the offense well. The one thing that I have a criticism of Jones is that he always rushes through his progressions. He's never 1 to 2 to 3. It's I got to get the ball out quickly, and you can't blame him for that because over the tenure of his time as a Giant, he has been rushed through his progressions with the offensive line. So hopefully this year is going to be different. I'm rooting for the Giants. I don't hate them by any means. I'd like to see Daniel Jones be successful because it sucks seeing these first-round quarterbacks always fall apart, right? But again, this is a year for Daniel Jones that he needs to step up. Same thing with Saquon Barkley, and Brian Daboll needs to make a statement in his first year as the Giants head coach. What do you guys think of the Giants last night? Giants are trash. You guys should make sports books. Hey, buddy, how are you, Garrett? I'm doing good, Garrett. I'm doing good. Anytime G-men beat anyone, their fans go nuts. They're that bad. I had someone comment at me because people know I'm a Patriots fan. Again, I'm a fan of whoever covers the spread, but I had people commenting at me last night saying, hey, the Giants beat the Patriots. The Giants beat the Patriots. Guys, it's preseason. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Do I like roulette? I don't really like roulette because the bottom line, that's a crapshoot too. I'll play red or black. Giants all day. Give me your favorite preseason parlay. You want a preseason parlay? We got to wait till the end. We got a couple more topics to talk about. Then I'll give you a preseason parlay. I think betting preseason football is not the best thing in the world to do, but I'm placing a few bets tonight. Ravens versus Arizona Sunday night, August 21st. That's their next game. I mean, that's a different story. I think Kyler Murray will likely play in that game in week 2, but we'll see there. And it depends too, guys. I mean, the Ravens they want to come out and win. And Tyler Huntley, sensational backup, right? He's got a lot of skill. If you give me Lamar, which I don't know if Lamar is going to play in the preseason, but if you give me Lamar followed by Tyler Huntley, that's a pretty tough combo to beat in the preseason. Giants are trash. I don't think the Giants are trash. I think they're looking better this year, but they're going to be okay. You don't draft a quarterback from Duke, power forward, sure, point guard. Why not a quarterback? No, I didn't love the draft when it happened when they took Daniel Jones. I didn't think he was the best quarterback on the board. It's kind of like the Patriots taking Cole Strange, who was okay last night. I mean, Cole Strange was not horrendous. He's projected to start this year too, but there's some picks I just don't know what goes through coaches' heads. And obviously, I'm not an NFL GM in any way, right? I'm not a head coach. I can evaluate talent off what I see, right? But in the end of the day, I played college football. I don't have any experience in an NFL meeting room in a front office, so you can't exactly know what's going through their head. Miles Luttrell, have you talked about the Detroit game? I have not talked about the Detroit game. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Actually, Tim Boyle, I went to high school with. He was on my high school football team. He'll be getting a majority of the reps tonight. That quarterback number 2 spot in Detroit is up for grabs. So we'll be talking about that here at the end of the show. Got a few more topics to discuss. We got to talk about the Patriots, though, how they played last night. The biggest thing that I saw the Patriots, why did they have 2 guys calling the plays? We know that it was going to happen, but it just doesn't feel right. Matt Patricia called the plays to start, and then Joe Judge called the play after. Both these guys are defensive-minded guys, special teams guys. So obviously it's the NFL. They can coach anything, but still, offensive line, or defense to offense, these guys are defensive specialists calling offense. Just, I don't know. It didn't sit right with me last night. Overall, the Patriots did some things well. They did some things bad. They didn't have their starters out there, for most starters at least. Cole Strange was one of those guys that was out there. But, working against the New England second-team defense, the Giants look good. That's what we expected. We expected the Giants to win that game last night. They did. So I think the Patriots got to figure out how they're going to handle the play calling situation. It can't be Joe Judge and Matt Patricia. It can't be, hey, you take the first half, you take the second half. It's got to be one guy doing it and then the other guy assisting. I thought both quarterbacks played well for New England. Bailey Zappi was really, really good last night, in my opinion, and along with Brian Hoyer. So both guys were pretty impressive there. Rookie Zappi, yeah, the rookie. Okay, so we'll keep it going here, guys. We want to talk about the Cowboys wide receiver core. I think that's the next thing we should discuss before we get into talking about the games tonight. Then I promise you guys we will get into it. We got some stuff. Thoughts on Hutchinson? I think Hutchinson's going to be really good. I mean, not he can sing Billie Jean, as we know from Hard Knocks. If you haven't seen that clip on Twitter, go find it. Aiden Hutchinson singing Billie Jean for their rookie kind of hazing, whatever they do. Miles Luttrell, have you talked about the Detroit game? Haven't yet, but we will, especially with BP311 over in the comment section going the game. Where'd you play college ball? Lafayette College, 1AA school, FCS school, still Division I though, people. Giants fan, I know Jones never has time, but he just doesn't seem like he's got it all. He doesn't have time, but he also, I think, obviously, when you're a rookie, you're like a little baby. Come the NFL, you are literally a little baby. And if you don't get into a good system, you're going to fail. You think Mac Jones, I love Mac Jones, but do we think Mac Jones would have been as good in a situation outside New England? Bill Belichick's great, right? He's phenomenal. He's an unbelievable football mind. If Mac Jones doesn't go there with Josh McDaniels as well, is he going to be successful? If he goes to Jacksonville, obviously, if we look at quarterback talent, let's compare it here. We look at Trevor Lawrence and we look at Mac Jones. Who's a better quarterback? Trevor Lawrence, skill-wise, physically, body-wise, arm-wise. Who's going to have a better career? I'd say Mac Jones, right? That's what it comes down to, because obviously Mac Jones is in a better system. It's like Tom Brady winning all those Super Bowls. Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time, no doubt in my mind, but his career definitely got started on the right foot going to a program like New England. Sauce Gardner equals Jason Verrett. Sauce Gardner is going to be very good. I'm excited to watch him play tonight. How'd you achieve that phenomenal voice of yours? I don't know. I guess my parents. Got to give them a shout out for finding that mix of the deep voice mixed with the non-deep voice. People, I don't know if you guys like the pace on this show or not, or the betting show, but again, we're a little slower on here. I said that this morning. Really gives me a chance to show off the voice. Let's see here. We got a couple comments from Brian coming in. I see we already got that. So we're all good there on YouTube with the comments, guys. Drop the comments on TikTok. We'll be going. What team does he play for? Sauce, the Jets. He's going to be when he walked into the Jets, he had his like chains on. He looked like a phenomenal NFL football player. Like he just body wise, watching him walk in, it was good. Doug Peterson will help Lawrence a lot. Shelby, I 100% agree with that. But just talking off the top here, when you look at a quarterback like Trevor Lawrence versus Mac Jones, obviously the body, the physicality, the arm, it all goes to Trevor Lawrence. But the system, obviously, it takes more than just a quarterback to win the NFL. You need people around you. Hope the Jets have a better record than the Giants. I think it's possible. Where does OBJ go? Everyone's saying he's going to Buffalo because of an Instagram post, right? I think the bottom line with OBJ is we can't really worry about that because he's not going to be healthy till at least halfway through the season. And that's kind of similar to what we're talking about with Michael Gallup here and the Dallas Cowboys when we get into talking about their receiving core. So, Cowboys-wise, anyone want to talk about the Cowboys? Let me know your thoughts on the Cowboys in the comment section before we continue to get going here with this topic. I would love to know what you guys think of the Cowboys this year. What do you think they're going to do in the NFC? How many wins they're going to get? All that good stuff, guys. 49ers winning today, Vinny. I do think the 49ers win today because Trey Lance is going to get a lot of time. It's going to be our first time really seeing Trey Lance in a spot where he knows he's going to be the starting quarterback. So excited about that. Cowboys don't look good. I wouldn't say they don't look good. I think they're having some flaws, right? I think you're seeing the clips on Twitter of people getting beat over the top, right? Roquan Smith, I see him going to Baltimore, but also too, news out of Bears camp is that they're trying to keep him. They're not looking at him any different now that he's disputing the contract. They're trying to keep him there. So we'll see what happens. I personally think he's going to be in Baltimore somewhere else, but the Bears are doing everything to try to keep him. And again, too, the trust is broken in a way. So once that happens, it's very hard to get it back. It doesn't matter if it's football or in life. If you break trust with someone, they're obviously, if you try to get back with them, right, they're still not going to trust you as much. Smith isn't going anywhere, and Baltimore has no cap space. They're trying to work their cap space around, though, to get him because they want that kind of linebacker there. I could possibly see him going out to Denver, too. I was hearing that report. But again, I do think he stays. I think he goes, but I think the Bears are going to do everything to keep him. It's up in the air right now. The bottom line is nobody's really progressing in that situation because he's sitting on the sidelines not doing anything. He's saying he's not going to practice. They're going to start finding him, so it's just not going to look good. How much is he looking? He wants to go. I don't know how much money he's looking for, but apparently the contract offer that the Bears gave him was a take it or leave it offer, and it didn't set the market. Like it was going to hurt the market for linebacker. Roquan Smith's a two-time second team All-Pro, back-to-back years, 2020 and 2021, right? Or 2019 and 2020, I believe. But two-time second team All-Pro. That's a guy that could literally set the market price. Very physical. So we'll see what happens. Cowboys going to be good defensively. I think they're going to be very good in the front seven. I think defensively in the back end could be a little trouble for them. They got beat over the top a lot last year. That's the one way their defense is not going to be good. But overall, offensively, I'm slightly concerned about them, and here's why. We'll talk about that right now. So you have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. They're connecting on a different level in training camp. From what we're hearing right now, we've seen some clips on Twitter. Obviously, Cowboys beat reporters are tweeting stuff, and we see it. CeeDee Lamb can go over the top, and he can catch football, a contested catch. And that's special. If you got a guy that can make contested catches in the NFL, you're going to be in good shape because it's so hard to complete passes, right? Receivers and DBs are so tight in football, it's hard. So when you get a guy that can get that space, find space, and also make contested catches, you're going to be in shape. CeeDee Lamb's going to be the guy. He's under a lot of pressure this year, a ton of pressure for CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to live up to it, obviously, as the receiver number one. But my biggest fear is what are you going to get out of those secondary Cowboys receivers? Because like we just talked about, in football, it's more than a quarterback. It's more than a receiver. You need a full team around you to win games. Cowboys ranked very high in our passing metrics last year. They were a top 10 team. But at the same time, too, what are you going to get out of a team without Amari Cooper? I think it was crazy that the Cowboys chose not to re-sign Cooper and re-sign Gallup. He's going to miss time. Most likely at least 4 weeks. He tore his ACL back in January, right? But he's on the PUP list. That means he has to miss at least 4 weeks of the season. I see that being more 6 to 8 weeks probably. And then you don't know what you're going to get out of him coming off a torn ACL. Torn ACLs can really affect how a receiver plays, right? How's he going to cut? How's he going to move? Speaking of OBJ, torn ACLs, right? What are we going to get out of OBJ when he comes back? You don't know, right? So the Cowboys bet on uncertainty. I will say this. When Gallup is on and Dak is feeling it, those two work very well together. That could be a killer combo with CeeDee Lamb, and I understand why the franchise did what they did, but Amari Cooper was more the sure thing. James Washington's also going to be helpful there. He was a full-time starter in Pittsburgh, right? But at the same time, too, what are you going to get out of him in a new system, new organization? I think he can be good. He didn't necessarily have the best quarterback in the world, right, towards the end there, but I think he could be okay. He's going to add to the team there of Gallup when he returns, and CeeDee Lamb. Another guy to look out for is Jalen Tolbert, third rounder in April. A lot of people excited about Tolbert, but he's a mid-major kid, came from South Alabama, right? So there's a lot of questions around this receiving core. I think Dak's excited about it too, but it's just I don't see it as much until we know what we're getting from Gallup. Because if Gallup can't come back and be healthy and be effective, you're really cutting into CeeDee Lamb because people can just key on him. Derwin James leading the Chargers. Is Derwin James leaving the Chargers? Let me see if Derwin James is leaving the Chargers. I haven't seen anything about this. Handle his contract situation extremely well. Trade suggestions. I think same thing. Trying to extend / trade. Again, kind of unknown. Malik Willis last night. He didn't look great. He didn't look terrible. But again, that's why we bet on the Ravens. Smith isn't going anywhere. Got that. Mr. Rager Fall. Thanks for the follow, guys. So, again, OBJ to the Bears. OBJ could go to the Bears. I think that's a waste, honestly, for the Bears, right? And I don't think OBJ is going to want to go there. I'm seeing most likely I see OBJ going back to Los Angeles. They're going to give him a good contract, a reasonable contract. I don't think he's going to get the money anywhere else that he could get in Los Angeles. He's coming off a torn ACL, right? I don't think he goes to the Bears. I can't see that at all, just because the Bears are going to struggle so much this year, and they don't make the right moves as an organization. Justin Fields needs help. He's not going to have much of an offensive line. His receiving core is not great, right? I think it'd be a good fit, but I just don't see the Bears doing it because they tend to make the wrong decisions all the freaking time. Bears and Bills, that's it. Bears and Bills. I could see him going to the Bills. I think Chargers is, if you had to pick an NFC team, not Chargers. I think if you had to pick an NBC team or an NFC team, Rams would be the team. There you go. There's a typo there. I think Rams will be the team that he could go to. Bills, guys, we're all overreacting about the whole Bills situation because of an Instagram post, because of a comment on an Instagram post saying, do you have room in the locker room? I forget who we said it to, but that's the only reason we have the Bills hype right now. If Bills got OBJ, I don't think it moves them closer to a Super Bowl, right? I still think they're the favorites, they're the front runners. If the Bills need to go out and get another receiver to solidify their chances of doing something special this year, that's a case where I could see OBJ going there, because he's not going to sign before the season. He's going to be a mid-season signee, and we'll see what happens. Von Miller asked what his locker room. Yeah, that was what it was. It was Von Miller. I don't know why Packers aren't in on him. I mean, tonight, no, the Packers play tomorrow, or Packers play tonight against the 49ers. I'm excited to see what this Packers receiving core is going to do. You don't have Devontae Adams headlining the group anymore, but you still have a lot of guys that are going to play. I think they're going to play their one receivers. Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be on the field too much, though. Is Gronk coming back? Aaron Rodgers said he's not. Aaron Rodgers said he'll play in the preseason if they let him go a full quarter or a full half. He's not playing a series, he said. Is Gronk coming back? I think Gronk could possibly come back towards the middle of the year. What are you going to get out of him at that point? I think he's done, though. He already retired once. He retired once so he didn't have to go to Detroit or whatever it was. I think he could come back. The door's open for him to come back. Don't count on it if you're a Buccaneers fan, though. Let's see here. OBJ is more than just a name. I think he's a brand. He goes back to LA. I could see that, Shad. I mean, I think at this point in his career, honestly, OBJ is more of a brand than a superstar number one receiver. I think the brand OBJ is bigger than OBJ himself at this point. Von Miller, it's because he was the same player that asked for him with the Rams. There you go. So you can see him going there. I see him going back to LA, though. I just think it's going to be the best contract offer money-wise. He's not going to have to move. He's going to be in good shape. I think he knows the locker room. He's familiar with it. He's going to come in midseason. The best way to contribute midseason is coming into an offense that, working with Matt Stafford. He worked really well with Stafford last year. I think it's the perfect marriage there. All right, Deshaun Watson case now. The league seeking a minimum of 17-game suspension. Is he going to play tonight? That's the big question. Allegedly, he is going to play, but if the league came down, or not the league, the appeal came down, and they ruled that he would miss 17 games and be suspended and lose $5 million, that would immediately start. He would have to leave the team, right? He could not be around them. So 17 games, we'll see what happens. If that is the case, the Browns have said they were looking to Jimmy G. It could be a perfect landing spot for Jimmy G. I don't know if it's going to happen, honestly. I don't think a ruling comes down today. I think they let him play today, and then a ruling comes down the next couple days, because today was the first day that there was actually a ruling. A ruling could be made legally. So we'll see what happens there. If Watson does play tonight, don't expect too much out of him. I mean, I don't expect many series. I expect a lot of handoffs, easy, short completions, slants over the middle, flats. Just because he hasn't played in a year, I don't think they're going to put him in a situation where he's going to have to look deep down the field and deliver shots. It's the preseason number one. Every team's vanilla. And on top of that, Deshaun Watson hasn't played in a year, people. Jimmy G not going anywhere. Jimmy G is 100% going anywhere, Rajan. Jimmy G is 100% going somewhere. the 49ers are keeping him right now. They will release him at the end of the year. No one wants to pay $25 million for Jimmy G, which is what they would have to pay to take him. The Browns have already said they will. It all comes down to when a quarterback gets hurt. There will be a quarterback that gets hurt this season. Jimmy G is going to be that perfect fit to move in there. He is not going to play for the 49ers. If Trey Lance got hurt tonight, Jimmy G would be the starting quarterback for the 49ers. That's probably not going to happen. Most likely that's not going to happen, and Jimmy G will be somewhere else. Bill Cosby and Deshaun Watson comparison. I got the joke on the early show today. I would read it out, but again, I'm already a bad boy on this app. Don't need him with Woods back. But again, too, they're all coming off injuries. What are you going to get? OBJ is just an extra target. And here's the thing. OBJ is going to go to the highest bidder at the middle of the season. He's not signing before the season. The Rams, I think, would already sign him if he was going to go there, right? He's going to go the highest bidder that needs him. And as people get hurt during the year, it's football. People get hurt all the time. We'll know where he's going to go, right? OBJ, it's right now it's Bills or Rams. It could be someone else in the middle of the season when they need a receiver because somebody got hurt. Hell, if Michael Gallup can't perform, I could see him going down to Dallas. That's just what it comes down to. Robert Kraft did the same thing, have the same energy. Guys, listen, bottom line is they all do the same. They all got the tuggies. Deshaun's going to be suspended. Robert Kraft paid off people. Deshaun tried to pay off people. Guys, that's what it comes down to. It's bad no matter what. Come on. OBJ wants $20 million for 10 games. LOL. He's probably not going to get that at that point. Friday preseason action, guys. Drop your questions in the chat. We'll go through every game pretty quickly here. Falcons, Lions. I'm excited to see what the Lions do tonight with Dan Campbell coaching them. Obviously, he's in line to win Coach of the Year. I think they're going to run the football. I think they're going to pound the football. They're also going to work their backup quarterbacks in. Don't expect Jared Goff to be on the field too much tonight, at least, if he plays at all. I haven't got a ruling on whether their starters are playing or not. For the Falcons, they have a lot of young talent, very good receiving core. I don't think Marcus Mariota is going to play tonight, but look for them to try to move the football. I'd go with the Lions in this game at -2.5. Browns, Jaguars. This is a game that I love the Browns in, as we talked about. I think Browns money line was the move when the Browns were 2.5. Now it's since gone back to a pick'em game because we don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. Don't bet preseason night. I'm only betting one preseason game. I'm just going over this. I'm going over Gurley. It's amazing what happened with Gurley, how far he came down. Jared Goff really went downhill. I don't agree with that, Ryan. I think he did go downhill, but Sean McVay made him successful. I think Dan Campbell's he's in an offense that can make him successful, an offense predicated on being physical and running the football, working in play action. But anyways, Browns, Jaguars. I like the Browns tonight money line. Whether Deshaun Watson plays or not, I think Jacoby Brissett's going to play a huge impact in this game because they need to get him ready for game snaps. He's going to get a lot of time. This Browns defense looks good, top to bottom. I think the Browns team is built to win if they had a great quarterback. Now, if Jacoby Brissett can be better than, Trevor Lawrence, backup quarterback, then I think we'll be fine. Jaguars are going to play about a quarter. Doug Pearson is not committed to how much time, but I could see it being about a quarter. Cardinals versus Bengals. Bengals 1.5 tonight. I'd probably lean towards the Cardinals in this game. You don't have Joe Burrow for the Bengals. We don't know if the Bengals starting offensive line is going to be out there. From what we hear, from the rumors, the Stars will play some. I think the offensive line be critical tonight to put them in, to get them meshing together, because that was their biggest issue last year. They signed a bunch of new guys, right? Kappa just to be one of them, but they got a bunch of new guys there. I think lean Cardinals, though, in this game. I just feel like Cardinals have the upper advantage with their skill players and what they're going to do tonight. Jets, Eagles, this is even pick'em game. I'd probably lean towards the Eagles, but I think there's going to be a lot of excitement around the Jets tonight. And then Packers, 49ers. I'd go 49ers 2.5 with Trey Lance. I think he gets a lot of time out there. And the 49ers work some stars in with them. They keep good offensive linemen in there just to protect him because they don't want him to get hurt, obviously. Packers are really not going to play many of their stars. But look, I am looking forward to seeing what young receivers step up for Green Bay tonight, because there is a void to fill with Devontae Adams, and maybe one of these guys can be the person to do it. Trey Lance's ceiling is high. I agree with that. I think Trey Lance could be a big-time quarterback someday in the NFL. I just don't know. We don't know what we're going to get, right? That's what it comes down to. We have no clue what's coming for Trey Lance. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen him play much. When he was on the field last year, he did make mistakes. So, we will see what happens. But that's my takes on there. If you guys have any questions on the games tonight, we'll stay on another couple minutes. Drop them in the chat. That was the news around the NFL. Start your free trial today. Cold Hard Football Facts, guys. Please go link in the bio. Click the link in the bio. Get on Cold Hard Football Facts right now. You're gonna love it. Trust me. How do you feel about the AFC West? I took a shot on the Chargers at +210 to win the division. I don't hate that. I still think the Chiefs are the big dogs, and the Chiefs have some issues. They do. But I do think with Patrick Mahomes stepping back up, having a better year, I think they'll be okay if they can run the football. But I think the Chiefs are still the top dogs in the division. I don't think they, by any means, do they win a Super Bowl next year. But I think with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes on the same team, you got to give them the advantage. They've done it. They've won everything, right? So you got to go there. I think Chargers is a decent bet. I think the Raiders could be a decent bet. Hell, I think the Broncos could surprise some people. I think they're definitely the last place team, but they look really good in joint practices against the Dallas Cowboys. Lion Stars are expected to play the first quarter tonight from BP 311. Okay, so that's good there. Jared Goff should play. They're going to run the football. I expect a lot of running in that game. I'd probably lean under it, honestly, in that Falcons-Lions game. I don't think a lot of points are going to be scored. On paper, it's the Chargers. Tanner, the GOAT. I love it, Dylan. I love it. I feel like the Chargers might sell this season, but on paper, it's the Chargers from Rajon Rondo. I mean, on paper, I see Justin Herbert winning MVP. I think, he was in our real quarterback rating, number one indicator of championship football teams, championship players. He ranked third last year. Very good quarterback, young quarterback, threw for 5,000 yards and 38 touchdowns. That's over 500 more than Josh Allen last season. So I could see the Chargers doing something special there. Again, they had the collapse on Sunday Night Football or Monday Night Football. I believe it was Sunday night late in the season, the last game against the Raiders that kept them out of the playoffs, right? So, it's going to be a tough year. I think the Raiders improved, though. The Raiders got better. They re-signed their guys. They paid their guys. That always means that they're going to hopefully play better. So we'll see what happens. Herbert's been the best quarterback the past 2 years. That's a little bit of a stretch, but he's been, he won Rookie of the Year, obviously. I think the thing with Herbert to watch out for, you got to see, you hopefully don't see a regression, right? You hopefully see him continue to make strides forward. He had a phenomenal year 1 to year 2. What's it going to be year 2 to year 3? Chargers, like the Cardinals, start off hot and then sell at the end of the season. Yeah, I remember the Cardinals were one of the best teams in football for a while, and then they fell apart. I don't see the Cardinals doing much this year. Chargers-wise, I see them being better than the Cardinals overall. I know it's a separate league or separate conference, but still, I see the Chargers having a much better season. Let's see here. Chargers rookie coach killed them last year. He was going for it on 4th and 15. But that's another reason, though, Justin Herbert being around that coach again, being in that system some more. Staley, being with Staley, right? That's going to just help him more, right? Year 1 to year 2, he had to go from new coach. Year 2 to year 3, it's the same coach, same system. They have to stop going at 4 and 4th every time. There we go. BP 311 speaking the same language as TikTok. I love it. Chargers and Staley. Brian, who do you like? Who's your team? You're a Midwest guy. Are you like Packers, Bears? Are you in that range? I believe you're a Midwest guy. How's Terry doing too? Have you talked to Terry at all? Because he couldn't hit 4th and 15. There we go. Any other comments, guys? Drop in the chat. If not, we will sign off here. I want to hear who Brian's favorite team is, guys. But I appreciate you joining me. Start free trial Cold Hard today. Any other questions, drop in the chat. We'll stay on here a couple minutes. CM22 for comeback play there. I could totally see that if he stays healthy. That's the question. Tanner, my guy, back to court, huh? You and Watson on trial. Man of the courts. Damn, man of the people. Man of the people. What do you mean I'm in court? Just because I got the nice suit on, I look good. I look fresh. I do look fresh. You're right. Thank you, David Bay. That's a backhanded compliment from you. I love it. Don't associate me with Deshaun Watson, though, please, right now. Come on now. Deshaun Watson's getting suspended for 17 games. I see it. It's going to happen. He's going to appeal it. It could go federal court. We'll see what happens. I want to see Watson play too tonight. I want to see Watson play too. I want to see what he can do, honestly. I mean, I want to see how he can take the adversity on and handle it. Spoke to TJ Salt Dog yesterday. Titans are my team aside from the Lions. Gotcha. Love that. Spoke to TJ Salt Dog. David Bay laughed. Yeah, don't associate me with Deshaun Watson, please. Come on now. Come on. He might look like Johnny Manziel. Let Watson play. From St. Louis, live in Michigan. Gotcha, Brian. But anyways, guys, yeah, we'll sign off here. We will not be doing this show tomorrow. We actually have no shows tomorrow. The show will resume Monday again. The betting show, though, 10 a.m. I'm going to go live on TikTok at some point. All eyes are on Tua this year for sure. We talked about that for a couple minutes before we sign off here. But the 10 a.m. betting show will resume on Monday. This show will not be back until Monday. Actually, the 10 a.m. betting show is Sunday. And then this show resumes on Monday. Going to the Lions game night, about an hour drive. Gotcha. Watson allegedly, Shelby, allegedly. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with Watson that's killed him too. He's shown absolutely no remorse throughout this whole process, which doesn't look good in a court system. Watson over under 140 massages. I'm going to hammer the under on that because the NFL wants him to go to counseling, and they said he can never get a massage again outside of the team office. Like, it needs to be on team property with a massage hired by the team. And hell, I think they'll probably have cameras in there. Don't pan to the sideline. He might be touching up the water, but no, guys, come on. He's not doing that. He's not that kind of. He just likes massages. He likes it with a happy ending. Come on now. Tua has the most pressure this season. I 100% agree with that. Rajon, 100% agree. Honestly, when you look at Tua, I mean, He's got weapons around him. He's got an offensive-minded coach there. The defense looks better, so he's going to have opportunities to win football games. I don't think he does anything. I think there's just something about the Dolphins. We look at Tyreek Hill coming out and saying, hey, we're going to be the best, and defense should fear us. I never think that's a good thing to do. Tyreek Hill did it, so be it. Again, though, it is what it is, right? I do think Tua finishes third in the AFC East. I think the Patriots move up to second because they do the little things right, and they don't lose games because of little mistakes. Bad gaming. Brad Pellin, what's up, cutie Brad? How you doing? Brad? How many boys were in the complaints? Over, under 3? I don't know. Watson goes to the blue tent. Guys, okay. Deshaun Watson, guys, I'm already a freaking enemy of this platform. I can't be doing it. Believe me, I'd love to sit here and make jokes about this stuff, but again, I'm already going to get kicked off the freaking platform for, saying the Red Sox are going to win tonight. So, but anyways, guys, we're going to sign off here. Hope everyone has a great day. Hope everyone's ready to win some money. We will see you for this show again on Monday. Betting show will resume on Sunday, but we'll go live at some point throughout the day. We're moving equipment back. We're going to the studio. We'll be back in the studio on Sunday for this show or for the betting show, the 10 a.m. show, and then the Monday show will resume at 12 p.m. Guys, hope everyone has a great day, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode. Outro music.
Yeah, ain't shit sweet, ain't shit funny. Look, it's blue tints on my hundreds. Life been going